Hey everyone, and welcome to the Case Files. Today, we will be diving into the murder of Gabby Petito and the disappearance and death of Brian Laundrie. Grab a snack and a blanket, get cuddled in, and let's get into it.
The killing of Gabby Petito. In August 2021, 22-year-old American traveling vlogger Gabrielle Venora Petito was killed by her fiancé Brian Christopher Laundrie while they were traveling together on a van life journey across the United States. The trip was planned to last for 4 months and began on July 2, 2021, but Petito disappeared on August 27. After Petito's disappearance, Laundrie raised suspicion when he drove the van from Wyoming back to his parents' Florida home and refused to discuss her whereabouts. He was deemed a person of interest in the case, and an arrest warrant was issued on charges of his making unauthorized withdrawals using her debit card. He left his home on September 13 and was reported missing 4 days later. On September 19, Petito's remains were found in Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest. An autopsy found that she was killed by blunt force injuries to her head and neck and manual strangulation. After a month of speculation around Laundrie's whereabouts and an extended search of the area around his home, his skeletal remains were discovered in Florida's Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park on October 20. It was confirmed by an autopsy on November 23 that Laundrie had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, and the FBI later announced that he had admitted to killing Petito in his notebook, which was found near his remains. The case gained widespread attention due to the couple's documenting of their travels on social media, leaked police body camera video footage, 911 emergency dispatch call recordings, eyewitness accounts, the actions of Laundrie's parents, and the extensive media coverage.
Who was Gabby Petito? Gabrielle Venora Petito, March 19, 1999, see August 27, 2021, was born and raised in Blue Point, New York. She had 6 younger siblings and half-siblings. In 2013, Petito and her stepbrothers appeared in a music video to raise awareness about American gun violence in response to the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. In 2017, she graduated from Bayport Blue Point High School in Bayport, New York, where she met Brian Christopher Laundrie. From September 2017 to January 2019, she lived in Carolina Beach, North Carolina, working as a hostess and in the kitchen of a restaurant in nearby Wilmington. She applied to Cape Fear Community College but did not attend.
Petito began dating Laundrie in March 2019 and moved in with him and his parents in Northport, Florida. The couple worked at a Publix in Northport where she was a pharmacy technician and he was in the grocery department. They quit their jobs at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. In late 2019 and early 2020, the couple embarked on a cross-country drive from New York to California. Along the way, they visited Las Vegas, Yosemite National Park, Pismo Beach, and other points of interest. In March 2020, Petito celebrated her 21st birthday in Nokomis, Florida. She and Laundrie visited Soap Creek, Georgia in June 2020, and the two were engaged the following month. In December 2020, Petito purchased a 2012 Ford Transit Connect van converted into a camper in which the couple would take their next cross-country trip. To save money for the trip, she began working 50-hour weeks at Taco Bell and as a nutritionist, while Laundrie took a job at an organic juice bar. Petito documented her life and travels on social media sites such as YouTube and Instagram, where she described her interests as art, yoga, and veggies.
On June 17, 2021, Petito and Laundrie visited her native Blue Point for her brother's graduation ceremony. On July 2, 2021, they left Blue Point in the Ford Transit Connect van for their trip. Later that month, they visited Monument Rocks, Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve, Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon National Park, Mystic Hot Springs, and Canyonlands National Park.
On August 12, 2021, a witness called 911 to report that a couple, later identified as Laundrie and Petito, were fighting in front of the Moonflower Community Cooperative in Moab, Utah. The caller said they saw a man slap a woman, after which the man and woman ran up and down the sidewalk, then the man hit the woman again before they drove off together. Another witness described the incident to police as looking like Petito and Laundrie were talking aggressively and that Petito was punching him in the arm. The witness said it looked like Laundrie was trying to leave Petito behind and take her phone with him. Before they drove off together, she climbed into the driver's seat, moved over into the passenger seat so he could drive, and asked him, "Why do you have to be so mean?"
Officers from the Moab City Police Department, MCPD, identified the van driving erratically near the entrance to Arches National Park and conducted a traffic stop. They found Petito sobbing in the passenger seat, with police body camera footage showing that she then told officers, "Yeah, I don't know if some days I have really bad OCD. I was just cleaning and straightening up. I was apologizing to him and saying I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD, and sometimes I can get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, my vibe is I'm in a bad mood. And I was just saying I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning, and I just now quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. I have a blog, so I've been building my website, I've been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So we've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before." Petito first downplayed the physical altercation. After the officer pointed out marks on her arm and face and told her to just be honest, she said that Laundrie kept telling her to shut up and grabbed her face, which had caused an injury. Laundrie told the officer, "I said, let's just take a breather and let's not go anywhere and just calm down for a minute." She was getting worked up, and then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys from me. I was just trying to, I know I shouldn't push her. I was just trying to push her away to go, let's take a minute and step back and breathe and see. She got me with her phone. Petito told the officer that she hit Laundrie first and asked the officers to not separate them. In his report, one of the officers wrote, "At no point in my investigation did Gabrielle stop crying, breathing heavily, or compose a sentence without needing to wipe away tears, wipe her nose, or rub her knees with her hands." The male tried to create distance by telling Gabby to take a walk to calm down. She did not want to be separated from the male and began slapping him. He grabbed her face and pushed her back as she pressed upon him and the van. Neither Petito nor Laundrie wanted to press charges as a result of the incident, which was characterized by police as a mental breakdown rather than domestic violence, which would have required an arrest. The police separated the couple, arranging for Laundrie to spend a night at the Bowen Motel in Moab and for Petito to stay in the van. The MCPD later investigated whether or not its officers handled the case in accordance with the department's policies, and its chief of police took a leave of absence during the investigation. On August 17th, Laundrie took a flight from Salt Lake City to Tampa, Florida, leaving Petito behind. Petito spent several days at a Fairfield Inn & Suites hotel near Salt Lake City International Airport, according to staff, and checked out on August 24th. It was later explained by the Laundrie family attorney that he made the trip to obtain some items and empty and close the storage unit to save money as they contemplated extending the road trip. Laundrie returned on August 23rd to rejoin Petito and continue the trip. Petito's mother said that she last spoke to her daughter on August 25th and had been told that the couple were traveling from Utah to Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Parks. On August 25th, the final post was made on Petito's Instagram account, which consisted of photos of herself taken in front of a butterfly mural outside a restaurant in Ogden, Utah. A witness said that on August 27th, between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., she saw Laundrie and Petito together at the Mary Piglet's Tex-Mex restaurant in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Per the witness, Laundrie was aggressive and had an argument apparently regarding money with the manager, waitress, and hostess. The witness said she later saw Petito return to the restaurant crying and apologizing for Laundrie's behavior. Restaurant staff confirmed via Instagram that the couple were indeed there.
Shortly afterwards, Petito and Laundrie were filmed by CCTV at a Whole Foods store in Jackson, Wyoming. They arrived at the parking lot at 2:11 p.m. and entered the store at 2:14 p.m. before exiting at 2:30 p.m. and heading back into the van. After about 20 minutes of sitting in the van, they eventually drove away and joined Highway 89, the road north to Bridger-Teton National Forest campsite at 2:56 p.m. This is the last footage of Petito alive. Also on August 27, a text from Petito's phone was sent to her mother which read, "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." The message raised concerns for Petito's mother, who said that Stan was Petito's grandfather and that she never referred to him by his first name. There were no known further sightings of Petito before her death. Eyewitness accounts suggest that Laundrie left the van near the Spread Creek dispersed camping area of the Bridger-Teton National Forest, close to where Petito's body was later discovered, and traveled alone on foot before returning on August 29. A witness encountered the van without any occupants or signs of camping near Spread Creek on August 27 and possibly 28. They had previously seen a generic, young white man, believed to be Laundrie, driving his van slowly and acting weird in the same area on August 26. They posted a video on TikTok detailing their observations. According to the witness, an FBI agent said that their account tipped the FBI off to the correct location of Petito's remains. The operators of a YouTube channel posted dashcam footage they captured on August 27, showing a white van matching the description of Laundrie and Petito's Ford Transit in the same area. One of the witnesses said they saw the van around 6 p.m. and once more when they returned to the area later that night.
A woman said in a TikTok video that on August 29th, she and her boyfriend gave Laundrie a lift from an area near Coulter Bay Village after seeing him hitchhiking alone. She reported that Laundrie freaked out upon learning that they were going to Jackson Hole instead of Jackson, Wyoming, disembarking the vehicle at 6:09 p.m. near the Jackson Lake Dam less than 30 minutes and 10 miles, 16 kilometers, after being picked up. The witness found it weird that Laundrie offered $200 for the ride and did not appear to be very dirty, despite claiming that he had been camping for days. Another witness stated that she picked up Laundrie from the Jackson Lake Dam area at 6:20 or 6:30 p.m. on August 29th, dropping him off at the entrance to the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. Laundrie offered gas money for the 20-minute ride, but did not want to be taken further than the entrance of the campground, which was several miles from the van. According to the witness, Laundrie acted antsy about getting out of the vehicle as it got closer to the campsite. According to Laundrie's parents, on August 29th, Laundrie called his mother, and as their conversation was brought to the end, his tone completely changed. After that, Laundrie's father contacted him back, and Laundrie told him that Gabby's gone and that he may need a lawyer without giving further details.
The last text message from Petito's phone to her mother, sent on August 30th, simply said, "No service in Yosemite." Her mother did not believe this message was sent by Petito. Text messages were also sent between Laundrie and Petito's phones, and a transaction of $700 was made from Petito's account to Laundrie, with a message saying goodbye to him. These activities are believed to have been conducted by Laundrie in an attempt to create an alibi. On September 1st, Laundrie returned alone to his parents' Northport home in the Ford Transit Connect. On September 6th and 7th, he and his parents went camping at Fort DeSoto Park in Pinellas County.
The investigation. Petito and Laundrie reported missing. On September 11th, after not hearing from Petito since late August, Petito's mother filed a missing person report. 4 days later, Laundrie was named a person of interest. His parents hired a lawyer and, based on his advice, remained silent and refused to talk to anyone about the case. Police surveilled the Laundrie home and saw him leave on September 13th. 2 days later, they saw his car return. Police believed the person who exited the car and entered the home was Laundrie. The following day, Northport Police Chief Todd Garrison told reporters, "All I'm going to say is we know where Brian Laundrie is at." On September 17th, Laundrie was reported missing by his parents, who claimed not to have seen him since September 13th. It was at this time that police realized that they had mistaken Laundrie's mother for Laundrie himself on September 15th. After obtaining search warrants, police seized the Ford Transit Connect, an external hard drive, and the Laundrie family's Ford Mustang from the Northport residence. Discovery of Petito's remains. On September 19th, human remains matching the description of Petito were found at the Spread Creek dispersed camping area in Wyoming, not far from where the Ford Transit Connect was previously observed. Her identity was confirmed, and an autopsy determined that the manner of death was homicide by blunt force injuries to the head and neck with manual strangulation, which occurred 3 to 4 weeks before the body was found. Search for Laundrie and discovery of remains. On September 23, the United States District Court for the District of Wyoming issued an arrest warrant for Laundrie due to his unauthorized use of Petito's debit card to obtain $1,000 or more between August 31 and September 1. The FBI took material to match Laundrie's DNA from his home. On October 5, in an interview with ABC News, Laundrie's sister encouraged him to surrender to authorities. 2 days later, Laundrie's father joined investigators in searching for him at the T. Mabry Carlton Reserve in Sarasota County, Florida, focusing on areas he used to frequent in the reserve and the adjacent Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. On October 20th, Laundrie's skeletal remains, identified by forensic dentistry, and some of his belongings were found in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, in an area that had recently been underwater due to flooding. His cause of death could not be determined by an autopsy, and his remains were given to a forensic anthropologist for further examination. On November 23, it was announced that the anthropologist had concluded that Laundrie died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Brian's confession letter. On January 21, 2022, the FBI revealed that Laundrie's notebook, which was found near his remains, contained an entry in which he admitted to killing Petito and deceiving people that she was still alive via text messages. He was officially blamed for Petito's death by authorities, and the investigation was closed. In June 2022, the Laundrie family's lawyer released the full notebook entry, in which Laundrie claims that he killed Petito after she had fallen into water and injured herself. "I ended her life. I thought it was merciful, that it is what she wanted, but now I see all the mistakes I made." The note ends with his plans for suicide. "I am ending my life not because of a fear of punishment, but rather because I can't stand to live another day without her." Experts, however, contend that Laundrie's account does not match investigators' findings. Michael Alcazar from the John Jay College of Criminal Justice believed Laundrie was someone who doesn't want to own up to what he did and was trying to find justification for the actions he did. Petito's family has filed multiple lawsuits. Following Gabby's murder, her parents, Nicole Schmidt and Jim Petito, pursued recompense in court. A judge awarded $3 million to Schmidt, the administrator of Gabby's estate, as part of a wrongful death lawsuit against the estate of Brian Laundrie in November 2022. The Petito family lost their daughter, and they were also denied the opportunity to confront her killer, Patrick Riley, attorney for Petito's parents, told CNN. No amount of money is sufficient to compensate the Petito family for the loss of their daughter, Gabby, at the hands of Brian Laundrie. Then, in February 2024, Schmidt and Petito reached an undisclosed settlement in a separate civil lawsuit against Laundrie's mother and father. In addition to litigation against the Laundrie family, Nicole and Jim filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Moab in 2022 that alleged police didn't do enough to protect Gabby during the traffic stop on August 12, 2021. The complaint accused officers of missing signs of domestic violence. A judge dismissed the suit, which sought $50 million in damages, in November 2024. Attorneys for Petito's parents have said they plan to appeal the ruling. Gabby's mother says she'll never have closure. Despite court victories, Schmidt is no closer to resolving her grief over Gabby's absence.
Year 3, after her death, hit me the hardest so far for some reason, and I know there's never going to be closure, she told People in October 2024. I think what hits me is it's been 3 years now since the last time I heard her voice or seen her, and that's really hard. While she says she'll never feel closure, Petito's mother is focused on continuing her daughter's legacy. We're never going to feel like we have justice, Schmidt said. There's just nothing we can do to make us feel better, but what we can do is continue on with her legacy. Petito's parents and their spouses have found a special way of doing just that. The four created the Gabby Petito Foundation, which works to address the needs of organizations that support locating missing persons and to provide aid to organizations that assist survivors of domestic violence through education, awareness, and prevention strategies. Now, this story really makes you think about things in your life a lot differently. You could be one bad argument away from not being here anymore. Make sure you give your loved ones a kiss and never go to bed angry. It could be your last. Feel free to keep the conversation going in the comments. As always, we hope you found today's story interesting and informative. A huge thanks to all of you for tuning in tonight. If you enjoyed tonight's story, please feel free to give that like button a smack and follow for more. Cody out!